Okay, got to figure out how to get those onto the top of that. And all I've got is a load of old scrap. Let's see what we can come up with. So the plan was to use a section of ladder. The kayak goes on the ladder gets hauled up onto the top of the van, and it sits on some runners which I was going to make out of fascia boards. I also considered various ways of getting up there, and I found that a 12-volt winch was probably the way to go. I managed to get this one, a Ninja winch from Machine Mart, £115. I paid a little bit extra to get the wireless receiver, so I could actually control the winch while helping the kayak on the back of the van. The only issue I had with the winch was the plate that it came on to be bolted to the roof bars was too small. It would fall through the gap of the roof bars, so I had to get another piece of metal and make like a mounting bracket and then bolt the plate that it came with to it, just so it fitted on the roof bars better. I also learnt pretty quickly that the fascia boards didn't have any strength in them to work as runners, so I padded them out with some plywood, and I'm pretty sure this will work okay, so we'll get it on the roof and see. Once the fascia board and the ply was placed on top, I could see how it would work as a runner. The ladder would be pulled up onto the runner via the winch, which would be located at the front end of the van. The board and the winch were both secured using U-bolts, which is just about to come on screen. And as you can see, these wrap around the roof bars, save me having to drill through them, and obviously the bars then retain their strength. Once I was happy with the runner setup and obviously where the winch was located, I then had to think about how I loaded the kayak onto the ladder system. I found these roof bars at a local Halfords dealership. The box had been returned and it was open, and they were going cheap. I think they were either £15 or £20, which was quite a result. And the kayak wouldn't sit just on the ladders as I was hoping, so I definitely needed some sort of bar underneath them to spread the load and something to tie them down to. Fitting them was another issue I had. I originally thought I'd bolt straight through the bars into the ladders, but unfortunately that wouldn't work because I'd have the head of the bolt sticking out, which would then catch on the kayak underneath, which wouldn't be good. So I then fabricated my own brackets. The brackets were made out of some flat adjoining pieces from the hardware department at B&Q. I literally just bashed them with a big hammer, little hammer and a vice until I got them to the right shape, and so they fit nice and snugly. I also screwed a self-tapper through the roof bar into the ladder before I put the bracket on, just to try and make it a bit more secure. You'll also notice on the ladder there is wheels. These were added after a couple of test runs of just pushing the ladder into the runner. I realised how much friction there was and I wanted it to run as smooth as possible. Once I was happy with the runner setup and the ladder setup, the only thing I was concerned about was the ladders sliding off sideways once the kayak was being loaded on and off. So I decided to build basically a couple of fins that fit on the end, so they'd just get cut to size to stop the ladders sliding off sideways once the kayak was down on the ground. And then the moment of truth. I had all the component parts in place, the ladder part, the runners, the winch, so we went for it. This is the first actual attempt at getting the kayak up there on this video. I had done a couple of practice runs with just the ladder. This video is a little bit quicker than what it was in real time, just because I didn't want the video going on too long. But as you can see, the kayak got up there no problem, and the same with bringing the kayak back down. I was a little concerned originally with the crossover point, wondering if the kayak would slam down once the weight shifted over, but holding onto the strap on the rear of the system is no problem at all. I've ironed out a few creases since for smooth operation. I've just moved a couple of the wheels for different placements, and also just getting used to the system, when to let the cable in a little bit quicker or let it out. And yeah, it's great. Really pleased with the result. The total spend was less than £180. And when you look at other systems that are on the market, I think this is a hell of a saving. So all in all, really happy with the system. Just used it for a week in France. It was great. And don't be afraid to build your own system, guys. If there's anything I haven't covered or you want to ask any questions, feel free and I'll answer them as best I can. Until next time, stay safe and tight lines.